Think is happening right now? Why has this not been resolved?
I think it's what you guys talked about earlier. You know, he has to pass the physical. Once he passed the physical, then I think things will fall into place. Maybe they're restructuring like right now. It's not going to be that difficult to restructure. Basically, give him some type of guaranteed money, extend the years to where the cap gets lower, the number on the cap gets lower. Because right now, he's 2 more years, this is $40 million against the cap. So you got to lower that number. I mean, if he stays at that $20 million a year
Mike,
range, right?
I have a friend in the sports business who believes that Peyton is making the Broncos sweat a little bit.
Okay.
Would you agree with that? And if so, what exactly does that mean?
Well, it's a battle of wills. I said this to you before. I wonder if Peyton Manning is daring the Broncos to cut him. Because who's going to cut Peyton Manning? I mean, he's been cut once. For good reason. He's coming off an injury.
That was the perfect storm.
Right, but who has the leverage? And it always boils down to that with negotiations. Who has the leverage? The Broncos, they want Peyton Manning at a lower number. Peyton Manning, you know, does he have the leverage? Does he want to exercise his power here?
Of course he has the leverage, because the option for the Denver Broncos is that they finish 6-10 like they did when John Elway retired and Brian Griese came along. We knew more about Brian Griese than we do about Brock Osweiler, and Griese never played. I think that is ridiculous, and forgive me, but I'm going to stare you right in the face and say that's ridiculous. He's playing a cat and mouse kind of game is what you're saying.
I didn't say that was my theory. I said it was somebody else's.
Well, your friend should go stick his tongue against a flagpole.
In the winter?
Yeah.
-10.
I mean, he should shut up. What in the hell is he talking about? You've been around, both of you have been around Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning is, of all the people I know, oh yeah, I'm going to make the Denver Broncos just wallow in the mud for a while. This is a guy that came in and said, and I wrote on Sunday, said to his agent, I want less money than Tom Brady. He didn't want, like, unlike John Elway, who wanted to be the highest paid player, and he was, that he didn't want to be. He got very upset with Condon when Condon got him a contract that was higher than Tom Brady's, which was 18.4 at the time, and he said, I don't want a penny more than that, and he got for him 19.8. Well, he got very upset, and Condon then called his wife, who said, I'll take care of that.
He's getting in your face right
Woody,
now, too,
I will tell my friend that you mildly disagree with him.
Not mildly. Your friend.
It's a joke.
Your friend is an idiot.
All right,
Careful.
Let me add some stuff here.
Well, I don't care. He's an idiot if he's saying
Careful.
that.
Woody,
careful.
This is also a guy. This
Are
is
you
also.
pointing at
I
him?
know, right? This is also a guy in Peyton Manning who, in January, I believe, said he's not sure if he wants to come back to play football again. So I know what you're saying years ago about taking less money and being upset about that years ago before, 3 years later and no Super Bowl victory. But this is a guy that was battered. His ego was bruised last year and said on a podium that, you know what, I'm not sure if I want to play football right
Mike,
now.
do you think...
Every Friday, I'm unsure whether I want to come back to this show. But by Sunday, I realized,
what a great co-host.
Right.
Les needs me.
I need him.
Yeah,
like a hole in the head.
Plus, he has his face on the mud, too, so he's got to come back.
You have to put somebody else's.
All right, let's assume that Peyton is playing this little cat and mouse game.
Okay.
No, he's not.
Where would he...
Why should we assume that when it's not true?
Where would he go?
Anywhere.
Houston
Anywhere.
might be the only viable place if he wants to have a shot at winning anything.
Peyton Manning
but does Peyton Manning really want to start over somewhere?
He's starting over here.
With maybe 1 year left.
He's starting over here.
Mike, he's not starting over.
He's
got much of his offense back.
He's got to learn new verbiage. He's not going to call the plays like he was before. He's got to learn this new playbook, the verbiage. Kubiak is not going to change his calls just for Peyton Manning.
He said he was. He said.
So when you say calls, wait, define calls.
Fox to Rogers.
The plays or the verbiage?
Verbiage.
Okay.
Just a basic play. I mean, is Peyton Manning...
You guys act like Peyton went to some stupid school like Tennessee.
No.
What do you mean, you guys? No. I'm not saying this.
But in the history...
But Kubiak said, I'm going to change it. I'm just getting ready for the guy in Vegas that's going to come down on you like that. He said, I'll change my terminology to fit... You played the game. Okay.
So
All right. So right side is even numbers. Left side is odd numbers. Give me a break. How tough is that? How could any of you people have ever played football if it was that difficult?
Well, wait a minute now. We know how verbal Peyton Manning is at the line of scrimmage. Omaha, dummy calls,
you got to change
all
it
this
to
stuff.
Des Moines.
The West Coast playbook is not that diverse. I mean, it's not even that strenuous as far as learning it. It's words, but it's just at 39 years old, he's a Hall of Famer. He's done it his way, one way only. Now all of a sudden he's going to have to change. He's going to have to play with a fullback. He's never done that, right? So at 39 years old, you're asking this guy to overcome all those obstacles and play at a high level enough to where the Broncos are going to win the Super Bowl.
Are the obstacles that great?
Well, I don't know any quarterback that's done it. Peyton Manning, I don't know any other quarterback in the
go
history.
through coaching changes
You're
and
talking
playbook changes all the
at
time.
that age.
Yeah, at that age.
Kurt Warner did it.
At 39, but
Oh,
he
sure,
didn't win the
Arizona.
Super Bowl. He didn't win the Super Bowl.
Favre
He
did
got
it.
to the Super Bowl.
Favre
I
did
think.
it. He went to Minnesota
Favre went to Minnesota.
and the Jets,
Went
and
to
he had a pretty damn good season. with
pretty
Minnesota.
damn good season. That's not the Super Bowl though. I think if you're going to the playoffs, you can do that with Brock Osweiler because you do have a great team around him.
Do you think right now they could go to the playoffs?
Yeah,
with
I
Brock
went to the
Osweiler?
playoffs with John Kitna. I went to the playoffs with Chris Miller.
Kitna threw for a lot of yards.
But we had great talent around him, just
Right.
like the Broncos do. Peyton Manning's supposed to tip the scale because he's so elite. You're not supposed to just get to the playoffs with Peyton Manning. You're supposed to win a Super Bowl with Peyton Manning, much like New England has done with Brady, much like all these other elite quarterbacks that have won Super Bowls.